How to become successful. If you want to be successful, write this down: do not seek success. Seek to become a person of value. Again, if you want to be successful in life, do not seek success, seek to become a person of value. In other words, write it this way: make yourself valuable and they'll pay for you. Make yourself valuable and people will pay for you. That is what we do with gold, silver. How about gasoline, water? Our society has made these things valuable, so we do what we pay a lot of money for them. Because we made them valuable. Well, make yourself just like gold. In other words, develop a gift in your life that has become so valuable to everybody else that they will pay you to perform it. Leslie Brown and I were chatting one day and we became good friends over the past 10 years or so. And one day we were chatting, some of you were doing a conference together. And I was telling him about this invitation, I got to go and speak to this company. And I said, how much should I request as a fee from this company? And he said, how much do you think you are worth to that company? I said, I don't know. I was just starting in that particular area of the business of public speaking. And I said, no, maybe $4,000 or $5,000. He said, that's all you think you're worth? I said, they only want me to speak for an hour and a half. He said, that's what you think you're worth? I said, how much do you charge for an hour and a half? He's a $25,000 starting price. He said, if you charge them less than that, I'm ashamed of you. He said, you are better than me, and he was serious about it. So, I figured that I would contract him for $25,000. The check was in the mail the next day. Make yourself a person of value, don't seek success. Let me give you another example of how it works. If someone had to think about something that reminded them of you, what would it be? That's a serious question. Because if they never think about you, that means, you have never made yourselves valuable. You will become a jack of too many trades, so you master nothing. You think of Tiger Woods, what do you think about it? Michael Jordan, what do you think about it? Barbra Streisand, what do you think about it? Interesting, it's a good answer. Barbra Streisand, you think about two things, don't you? Acting and singing. Seeks to develop two gifts. What do they think about when they call your name? Your problem is they don't think about you at all. Become so good in an area that they can't ignore you. The world is filled with general people. You come to this conference to cease being general, you're not in the general group anymore. You've got to go home and decide for the next 20 years, I'm gonna carve out a niche for myself that they're gonna have to find me and can't ignore me. We heard Jesus talk, or he talked with such confidence. I am the bread of life. If any man hunger, he made himself valuable to them. I am the water of life. If any man thirst. In other words, if anyone thinks of water, they think about me. He was trying to get across his value to them. So the crowds pressed him by the thousands to try and get to the water.